to Isaac from Wales, Borada, Croeso, and Christine and connections from New Zealand, Tonga and Manchester, Kia ora, Mauri ora. Looking around, I see a most cultivated and cosmopolitan audience here today, but for the benefit of any egg throwers, John Prescott tethered out the back with a croquet mallet, and boy is he girning. So I'm sure that we're all eager to savour the main course of erudite guest speakers and panellists, so we'll try to keep this as painless as possible. Friends, Romanis, Narkins, country hantle, whatever you do, don't lend me your ears. I'd only pin them to a tree for my next public art installation. Just bing an E and Besherley, come in and park up. Evictions won't be served until 4. And I fully intend to have had my fun by then, my fortune told, and nasha vree, or make off, leaving Drew to quietly dismantle everything. But for now I see a winsome collection of Barry Deacon Hantle, Kinshins, Naysmorts, Nayskulls, Gadgies, Mushes, Manishes, Goories, Dillies, Chavies, why even the odd Shandy can chart. No matter whether you've bung here today from Macain or Care, Gelly, Ducat, Cuddivan or Vardo, welcome one and all to Hidden Treasures. Gypsy Traveller artists often struggle in silence, and the point of the exercise today is to provide a long overdue cultural experience designed to raise the profile of Gypsy Traveller art, which will also challenge perceptions. The elitist attitudes that they collide with seek to downgrade their efforts as unworthy. This is particularly common in the art world, but if it can happen to Jack Vetriano, right, then there's little point in the rest of us fretting about it. So the conception of Hidden Treasures really stemmed from a conversation I had with Dr. Daniel Baker. Daniel is a London-based celebrated contemporary gypsy artist, also exhibiting pieces here today. Some time ago, Daniel and I both lamented the onus on collecting pre-existing material and not on the commissioning of new work. This has seen Gypsy Traveller art become hidden from public view, something which we agreed had to be addressed urgently if the art and by extension the culture were to avoid being regarded as redundant. So the art world needs to be reminded of the words of a renowned Egyptian sculptor that the quality of art lies in the intention, not the execution. And perhaps any lack of consciousness owes to an underlying lack of cultural sensibility. Gypsy Traveller artists continued to produce work amid some very testing conditions, not in comfortable private studios, but probably like myself, stumbling around in a husk of a caravan, where it's easier to wind up wearing oil on board as opposed to creating one. So, funnily enough, an article appeared the other day in The Guardian about the establishment of a Romani Cultural Arts Centre in Berlin, and I don't know if anybody saw that, but there was a picture of Daniel creating the mirrors now suspended in the cafe area. And it emerged that out of 10,000 works by Roma artists held in state collections throughout Europe, only one work is on permanent display. Now that set me thinking, as I do occasionally, why collect 10,000 works and hide them away? It can only be to stifle cultural expression. So some in art circles, it has to be said, are sadly well off the pace, it seems, so that the evolutionary transfiguration in Gypsy Traveller aesthetics is lost on them. In any event, the value of art varies from culture to culture. What is high art in one may hold little appeal in another. So it's hoped that today marks an awakening, a watershed, and that continued support for Gypsy Traveller artists will follow from it to enhance their ongoing artistic development. And you know, it was touch and go there for a while. I almost took the soft option and didn't bother. At every turn there was dissuasion. Everyone told me to abort plans that couldn't be done. How I cut a Raj Don Quixote figure tilting at windmills. And driven half demented by all of the pessimists but never one to fold, I took a leaf out of Prince Charles's book and on the side to a bush outside my caravan. I entreated, where is the support going to come from? And the clincher came, obviously, when I read my horoscope for the year. It predicted success in all projects. Q2 angels from Creative Scotland, Maggie Maxwell and Helen True, and I sensed this day approaching. As Uhtred says, destiny is all. The moral of the story, always heed the stars and be unswerving in the face of detractors. So today goes ahead in spite of everything, and I now have this afterglow of satisfaction as a native of Pitlochry, able to spray my territory with a sprinkling of works, more of which can be viewed hereafter at Athol Centre as part of Pitlochry Art Walk. So to me, the people, the characters are the beating heart of the culture, and without them it's an empty vessel. Sorry, I've got a bit of a throat infection passed on to me by my sister. Blame her. Moreover, I get the utmost satisfaction from witnessing the supremely talented throng of artists who have converged here today as part of an informal collective. I'm sure you too will be able to appreciate that. So I'd like to move on to the running order. You've had the merry-go-round of life as a gypsy traveller. We're often told of the need to be more responsible, and we can be responsible, but some, like me, not very well, admittedly. And so for the avoidance of confusion and the sake of clarity, I'd like to just lead you through the running order of an action-packed day. So firstly, we have guest speakers here to whet the appetite, followed by a questions and answers session with a select panel who will field questions from the audience and tell you whatever you want to hear, no doubt. We'll break for lunch at 12:30. Those with a ticket may wish to take advantage of the buffet lunch provided, and for anyone without a ticket, refreshments are available from the cafeteria. You'll want to be back in your seats for 1 o'clock, however, as we have a special treat in store. A woman with a voice to gladden any heart, Elena Piras, will sing a few songs to enthrall you for half an hour. And please also grab a ticket over lunch for the free lucky draw, courtesy of Christine Bowker-Wilson, who with strong assistance has logged a bountiful gallimaufry of prizes all the way from New Zealand. Christine is the woman with the conditioned roots here. So follow her around if you want to take part in the lucky draw. From 1:30 until 3:30, various workshops and demonstrations will be available. For basket making and miniature model bender craft work, please make your way to the yurt, stationed outside on the grass below the theatre. If anyone does want to try their hand at flower making, ask a member of the catering team for a churi or knife, because you'll need that to curl the paper. A movement and dance workshop with Isaac is also not to be missed. He's going to be through in the next room there, so if you're brimming with energy, then please get involved and strut your stuff on the dance floor. Rosanna will also be conducting a tour of the displays in both Gaelic and English, which is to be filmed. And for those of you who wish to have your fortune told, please make your way to the wagon outside where the Dukerer will take at your farm. And remember to make your way back for 3:30 for the result of the second lucky draw. Elena will then give us a rousing send-off before we spill out back onto the road with a song on our lips. And other than that, just a few brief housekeeping rules. Toilets are located to the right of the foyer and downstairs for ladies and gents. Exits, in case we're setting the heather on fire, are front of house or back of the room. A member of staff will be able to advise. And there's a selection of information, leaflets and literature available for interested parties. The insight and pictorial history produced by Iris, the Barry News from Makeup and other assorted books and publications, so don't miss out on these. Please also take a moment to complete an evaluation and monitoring form, as this will assist with vital feedback on the day. Finally, on to paying thanks. It's times like these you fully appreciate the roses are, don't you? Thank you very much, thank you very, very much. If I only had a box of sweets I could pass it around, but since I don't, as they say in the Scottish football team, nae luck. So it's been a very concerted effort to get us here today. Firstly, my thanks go to the sponsors, Creative Scotland, without whose support today's event would not be happening. I must also pay special tribute to all of the project partners involved, in particular to Chris, Annie and Drew at Pitlochry Festival Theatre for their time, advice and guidance throughout many planning sessions. They have greatly assisted in structuring this event, offering technical nous and expertise with layout, design, event management and so on. And as well as chipping in with this wonderful venue, they've erected the yurt, marketed the event and pledged solid team commitment right throughout, from the boys in the box office to the catering corps. Drew and Annie also had the sense to waterboard me with innumerable cups of coffee every time I dared open my mouth with a suggestion. So my thanks also to today's guest speakers, Rona, Nicola and David from Perth and Kinross Council, also for bringing the World War I exhibition. Similarly to Michelle and Lucy and the team at MECOP for their generous in-kind contribution for setting up the Moving Minds material and helping to stage and promote this event. And let us not forget the gifted gathering of artists. Tina and Anne-Marie from Simply Solar for their stout camera work and generous in-kind contribution, to Triplet Media for their website design featuring today's proceedings. The website's already gone live and you can get that by googling www.hiddenheighten-treasures.org.uk. Kathy Potter-Irwin for basket making, Kathy McGuigan, Eleanor Piras, Dr. Daniel Baker, Martha Hilton, Isaac Blake and Christine Bowker-Wilson. Christine's brought some very exquisite peg dolls which she painstakingly hand-stitched before coming to Scotland. So thanks also to Kerry from Iris for supplying copies of Pictorial History and Insight document, and to co-authors of the Insight and panellists, Ken McLennan and my sister Rosanna, whose voluntary input has been quite admirable. So please take one of these, everyone. Thanks also to our fortune teller and the mush with the Vardo and the Grais, which didn't appear at the end of the day, that's horses. Above and beyond, thanks to all of the friends, family, audience members and members of the local community who have turned out today. To Tina and Brian from Viva Art Store in Mill Lane for supplying materials. What a truly enchanting shop, well worth a visit. To Ian Walker at the Athol Centre for inviting me to take part in the art walk, and to Pitlochry Citizen of the Year Alistair Dixon for the act of encouragement throughout. Apologies to anyone I have omitted. I hope that you will take treasured memories from today's unique cultural experience. Thank you all for your attendance. So we're running a little bit behind schedule, and I was going to introduce Isaac to say a few words because he's come all the way from Wales, and I've had the distinct pleasure of working with Isaac in the past. He's the director of the Romani Cultural Arts Company based in Cardiff, and he's currently spearheading a project called the Gypsy Maker Project, which is striving to archive gypsy art. So would you like to come up and say a few words, Isaac?
Can I first say a big thank you for inviting the Romani Cultural Arts Company here today for your event, Shamus. So thank you. My name is Isaac Blake. I'm a Welsh gypsy. I grew up on the Gypsy and Traveller sites in Wales. I'm also a trained contemporary dancer. So my background is dance theatre. I trained at Larbin in London and Martha Graham in New York. So my background is dance theatre. I work quite a few different jobs. As you can imagine, being a contemporary dancer, I work part-time at the Royal Welsh College Music and Drama. I work on the Young Actors programme, delivering movement workshop to inspiring young actors. I've been there for this is my 9th year working there, and 8 years working as director of the Romani Cultural Arts Company in Cardiff, which I'll talk a little bit about later. And I also run the Roma dance project in Europe. So we look at Roma Sinti dance, from folk to flamenco to so I have a team of dancers, choreographers, academics on my team, and it's a program supported by the Rom Archive, and I can talk more about that project. But when I first met Shamus, I met Shamus in West Wales with the lovely Tina and Anne-Marie when they had the amazing Ian Hancock over from Texas University, and I was so inspired by our first initial conversations. I just really wanted to actually work with Shamus. We were lucky enough in the Romani Cultural Arts Company to get some funding via the Arts Council of Wales for a program called Gypsy Maker. So the idea of that program is to have funds available to commission established and emerging Gypsy, Roma, Sinti and Traveller artists to make new work. And art is a wide term, from performance art to visual art, and for Shamus was instrumental in being one of our first artists that we were working with, alongside Dr. Daniel Baker. And we're now going on to our 3rd year for the Gypsy Maker programme. And I'm around for the actual day, so if you want to ask me any questions throughout the day, you're welcome to. I'm also delivering a movement workshop later, so it's contemporary based, but you will have Gypsy and Traveller tableaus and imagery. So in this choreographic workshop, and we can either you can decrease or increase the technique if you would like, whatever the audience would like. And I'm also wearing today one of our annual schools competitions. I don't know if you can see it, but I should have hanged it this way. We have a program in Wales. We want to raise awareness about Gypsy, Roma, Sinti and Traveller culture, and we have an annual schools competition, and this is the winning entry from the actual competition. So there's little Vardo, little Gypsy wagon, and I think this was key stage 2, which is your 7 to 11-year-old. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, but thank you. I'm on your panel today, but I'm looking forward to working with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll be sure to hear more from Isaac, because he's quite a loquacious character, and take full advantage of the opportunity to ask him any questions about the Gypsy Maker project.